Assalamu alaikum, you guys. Michelle on a mission here, and I am on a mission to live my best life here in the motherland, and I invite you guys to take that journey along with me. So, you guys, today I am going to be making the Egyptian national dish, and it is called koshari. And I've had it at a restaurant before, and I've done a review on it, which you're going to see a little bit later. But today I'm going to try to make it myself. This dish is a very easy yet complex dish at the same time. It's easy because all of the ingredients are simple. It's complex because you have to fix like 5 to 6 different dishes to put together to make one dish. So yeah, it's a simply complex kind of dish, and I'm going to be showing you guys how I make that now. So for me, the most important part of this dish is the sauce. And the basis for any great sauce are the ingredients. So I have the best fresh tomatoes from the local market, and I'm using those. I have to peel them first, so I scored them and then placed them in a pot of simmering water to make it really easier to peel. The next part of the recipe that's really important is your mirepoix. So your mirepoix is a combination of onions, celery, and carrots that's used as a base for most soups and sauces, and that's what I'm going to be using in this recipe today. I start off adding garlic first, and garlic is pronounced toum in Egyptian Arabic. So I'm chopping up my toum into like a medium dice, and I like the medium-sized pieces because they're big enough to stay, sturdy in the sauce after it cooks down, and they won't disappear. And I like my sauces to have a nice little bite to them. Next, I'm going to be adding the onion or basil. I like red onions. I just like the flavor of them, so I use them in everything. And with the red onions, I also cut those into a medium-sized dice for the recipe. Yeah, and then you guys make sure when you're cutting onions, just don't breathe in through your nose, and then that way you won't cry, okay? Breathe through your mouth. The next component of our mirepoix are the carrots, and carrot is pronounced gazar in Arabic, so your gazar. And here I'm just peeling them with a knife using a supreming technique. If you have a vegetable peeler, feel free to use that. I just don't, so I had to peel them this way. But basically with my gazar, I'm going to be cutting those up into a medium dice as well to match the basil onions. And yeah, they just add a nice sweetness to the sauce. They also add some richness and thickness to it as well, so you don't have to use a lot of sugar. So that's the importance of the carrots or gazar. Next ingredient is the celery, and the celery here is really pungent and it's very tiny, but celery is called karafs. So you have your karafs, your gazar, and your basil and toum. Now my tomatoes have finished simmering, and I am just peeling them with ease, just by pulling back the skin that has raised up due to the simmering. So that's why I use that technique, scoring them, putting them in a pot of water, let them simmer for a little while. It makes them easy to peel. All right, time to cook. Into my pan, to a hot pan, I added a couple of tablespoons of olive oil, or zayzayton, as it's called in Egyptian Arabic. And to that, I'm going to add my vegetables, my basil, my gazar, and my carrots. I'll add some salt and some shata, or pepper, to that as well. And then just let your vegetables sweat. So let them cook just for a few minutes to get a little soft. And then to this, I'm going to add my toum, which is garlic, and then my tomatoes. And then I used a vegetable bouillon cube because I didn't have any vegetable stock, and then just cover it with water. So you can use vegetable stock or chicken stock if that's what you have. Added to that, I added some parsley, some celery, some parsley, some basil, and some thyme. Meanwhile, on my other burner, I had my lentils going. So basically it's just lentils. I've covered them with water, added salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, and then just let them come up to a boil and let it cook down. So I'm going to cook the lentils until all the liquid has reduced down, and that's going to give it a nice al dente, not too soft, not too hard texture. My other bean that I used in this recipe is the chickpea, and I use canned chickpeas, you guys. So basically I had to rinse them off. I added them to a hot pan because I wanted to improve the flavor. I added some cumin, salt, and pepper, and just let it sear for a while. Do like a little dry sear just to kind of get that flavor infused into the pea. And then I added some water just to cover it a little bit. And then, yeah, just let that cook down until all the liquid is reduced, just to give it a really nice flavor of cumin. So yeah, so my lentils are done. The liquid has reduced down. They're nice and al dente. The sauce has thickened up. It's perfect, actually. I'll just continue to chop up the vegetables along the way and just let it simmer on low for a while. All the vegetables have reduced down, but there's still a nice chunk. And when it coats the spoon like this, you guys, that means it's the perfect consistency. Okay, so what are you guys thinking? I have finished a lot of the dish right now. So I got the lentils done. They are yummy and seasoned to perfection. I have the chickpeas done, which I did use canned chickpeas, but as you saw, I seasoned them up with cumin and steamed them to give them that nice cuminy flavor. I have the tomato sauce done, and like you saw, my tomato sauce is not the basic fresh sauce that's typically used with koshari. Mine is an actual cooked sauce, but I had to do it that way, you guys, because I enjoy a really good tomato sauce, and I wanted to make it in the traditional fashion that that I'm used to. So yeah, so I did that. And the only thing that I have left now, I have to do the crispy onions, make the pasta, and the rice. So that's what's up next. Stay tuned. All right, so crispy onions are like the thing with this dish. So next to the sauce, this is like the second most important part. And again, I love red onions, so I'm going to use those for the recipe. And basically, I'm just slicing them up really thin. Just do your onions in really thin slices, and then let them soak into some cold water, just to cut the oils down on it and help improve the flavor. So yeah, just break them up. I let them soak in some cold water, and now they're strained. So now it's about maximizing my flavor and getting that crispiness that I want. So basically, I'm just going to add some salt to these onions and then just kind of toss it and to distribute the salt. And then I'll add some flour. Now you can use any kind of flour. You can use corn flour, which is cornstarch. You can use gluten-free flour, oat flour, or just regular flour. It's really up to you. So for me, I did use a gluten-free flour with this. All right, so now I add the onions to hot oil. The inspo recipe that I used for this dish, they all said to use sunflower oil, but I didn't have any, so I just used regular corn oil because that's what I had. And it still turned out perfect. The onions still crisped up. They still got nice and brown. Yeah, yummy. Probably should have changed the oil, but I didn't have time for that. And they all actually crisped up every single batch, even though my oil was old at this point. They are salted. You hear that? It's crunchy. All right, next up is the rice. So I'm using the short grain Egyptian rice, and basically I just used like a cup of rice and I rinsed it off first. I added it to 2.5 cups of water and some salt. Okay, so I got my chickpeas, my rice, my crispy onions, my lentils are done. My sauce is done. So now it's just about pasta. So here is some spaghetti that I have just broken into bits. I don't know why they want it broken in the recipe, but I'm doing it. I imagine it's because maybe it just had to stretch. But this whole dish is giving me stretch. Okay, so now it's all broken up into small pieces. So the last thing I have to make is this pasta, El Malika or El Maleka. So that's it. Then I can put everything together. Okay, you guys. So I finished the entire dish. As you can see, everything went well in terms of cooking. Everything, I cooked it all good, in my opinion. All the little different pieces, and I put it all together and made a really nice cohesive dish. So now we're on to the taste test. So here it is, you guys. My take on Egyptian KOSHARI. It's their national dish. And as you can see, I just have it all layered up nicely. It has the rice at the bottom. I have the lentils, chickpeas, the pastas, and of course that crispy onion. Looks good, doesn't it? So let me dig in. Oh, get my vinegar sauce, hold on. This is the cumin sauce that I made. Pour it on top. That was hard to do, holding the camera. Okay, so let's see. That is so good. Let's see if my onion is crispy. So good. The lentils, everything just tastes perfect. So crispy, so delicious. You guys, I did it. I made KOSHARI, the Egyptian national dish. It was simple to do. Like you saw, it just had a lot of different steps to it, but it tastes phenomenal. And you guys can freeze a lot of different components, and that way it's easy to put together again at a later time. And yeah, it was good. At least that's my opinion. Anyhow, if you guys want this recipe, you can get it at motrellonamission.com under the blogs, right? So go to motrellonamission.com, click on blogs, and then you'll see this recipe there. And yeah, download it and make it for your families. They will totally enjoy this dish, as will you. It's definitely something that's kid-friendly to make. I think the kids would also enjoy it. It's a vegan dish, a vegetarian dish. So yeah. Go ahead and share that. And if you guys enjoyed this video and you enjoyed me making this dish, please do me a favor and give it a thumbs up. If you really loved it, go ahead and share it out so that other people can find out about it and can watch the video as well, okay? So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you guys. Later. Put some hot sauce and some lemon on there, so now I'm gonna try it. Tell you guys what it tastes like. Here it goes. Yeah, fried onions.
I know. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Fried onions are bomb. Good. It's tasty. It's so good. It's crispy. The onions are crunchy. It's seasoned perfectly. The pasta has the right texture. It's nice and al dente. It's not too soft. The chickpeas are cold, but it gives it some extra body. So that's really tasty to me. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like it, share it, and subscribe. I appreciate you guys. Thank you.